Hi everyone, welcome back to part 51 of my TemTem playthrough. Last episode we explored the sewers of Proper Town. I believe we have completed the storyline over there, and the next thing to do is go ahead and try to find the flying castle. If you remember, we had actually sabotaged it and it has actually crashed somewhere here in Aubrey. Hopefully I'll be able to find it, and let's see how many survivors we have on that as well. Now I did add 2 new team members and I'm super excited for that. I've been training up one of my team member. Hopefully it doesn't cause too many issues. I was here back in Tukma. As you can see, I do have Arknight here who is at level 52 now. The last episode it was around level 35. I also completely leveled up my Garunder, which is now at level 86. Since we did reach Proper Town, we are actually able to access all of the other places, which is really good. You know what, since we are already here in Tukma, I think I'll go ahead and complete some of the side quests for today's episode. We did have a couple of them that we had to put a pause on, especially since we did actually jump out of a flying castle as we did enter Aubrey. In any case, this is the side quest for the Pirate Queen. If you remember, we did encounter a Pirate Queen right here in the surface level of Tukma, and once we defeated her, we got kind of an update from One Night Matthew back in Proper Town. He did mention that there was I would say a merchant who is actually in contact with the Pirate Queen and is actually helping her with the merchandises, and this is that merchant right here. I believe we have met this merchant before for another quest where we actually had to get our surfboard back from her. I believe we had to give a particular TemTem to her in order to get it back. But of course, she will not give us the details on the Pirate Queen unless we do defeat her in a battle, which is what I'm trying to do right here. I'm also simultaneously trying to level up Arknight. It is at level 52 and I definitely want to have it around level 85 before we do tackle further. After all, we are quite close to the end game and I do want all of my team members to at least be able to have a fighting chance against the big boss. Now the Lord of Belsoto clan was revealed in the last episode. It's actually Cantanos, the professor who actually gave us our very first TemTem, who we actually trusted in, but apparently he is the evil guy in this game. Understandable. I mean, he was actually playing a double game here, trying to be nice with us and also trying to help the Congress in one side, but also having evil intentions and trying to I guess work on a particular project called Mega Z. Although the project name is not actually Mega Z, that is the only part of the name that was visible. So hopefully we'll get to know more details on this as we move on forward. We also had a cutscene with, I believe, Lady Lottie, where she was kind of tired of Bell's Soto clan as they did take away her castle and did want to get a revenge by helping us, which I think is pretty cool. On screen right here, I'm actually completing another quest where we had to give a bigu to that NPC. He gave us a egg timer in return, which is a pretty cool item. If you're hatching a lot of eggs, it will actually tell you how far your egg is gonna be for hatching. Another quest with egg was this lady right here who wanted a Gallus egg. I was able to find one in the trading center and I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to her. Unfortunately, this is not the only egg she needs. She also needs another one from Hidori, which means that I would have to keep this quest on pause until I'm able to find that egg. But at least it's a small update. The next thing I did was travel back to Aubrey as the quest update for the pirate merchant was that she's here back in Proper Town. She's actually hiding here somewhere. We do talk to someone here who actually runs away. I believe that was another merchant who was receiving the items. Our next task is to try and find this woman who just ran away and try to see where she's hiding. But of course, I once more tried talking to Augustine on the sticker quest, but unfortunately he will not budge until you have defeated the boss. So I guess we are putting that one on pause as well. Here's another person who we can talk to. Let me quickly ask her the whereabouts. And apparently the person is around here. Down in the sewers, huh? Sure, I guess we're going back there. Alright, this is the Pirate Queen quest, by the way, and I believe it's pretty small. Once we do come to Aubrey, the only thing to do is go ahead and find the Pirate Queen and stop her. I did decide to put up a scent just to avoid all of these encounters, but here is the Proper Town Port Authority, who is a scumbag. Apparently she's helping Captain Malika. As you can see, that is the pirate. So she is actually hiding in a house right here. It's right near the Clean Glen Forest, which means that it might be a house near that area. This is pretty interesting. It's a side quest I'm hoping will actually give me some really good items. But once we are here, this is the house. As we enter it, we see her right here. Yep. She is the Lady of Fortune, as she likes to call herself. Apparently that is a second name to hide herself here in Proper Town. I really think the Dojo Master of Proper Town needs to actually go ahead and just check out what's happening in his city. He is unaware of Belsoro clan. He's unaware of this pirate captain here. He's really doing a bad job. But anyway, we do have to battle her once more. This time she's actually much more powerful. She does have level 75, level 78 TemTems. She has all evolutions of Toucan, which is pretty cool to see. I'm pretty sure that at some point I'll have to level up my own Toucan to evolve it as well. Either way, it seems that my Grunder was not a good match. So I did actually have to switch into Nagas. Hopefully this one will be better. There we go, at least one of them is down. As far as the moveset goes on my TemTem, I think I need to take another look on it. I do have a lot of these physical type moves, but I definitely need some status moves which might actually help me. I think some of them would be trapping your TemTems. If you remember, there are a couple of battles in this game where the AI is pretty intelligent, where it will actually switch out the TemTems to confuse you. In that situation, having a couple of moves that will actually lock a TemTem in place will actually help you a lot. I think we'll be exploring this idea when it comes to all of the main battles. Either way, we are definitely having a bit of a tough time against her. I'm not sure if the game is supposed to be a bit tough for her battle, but either way, I am glad that I have a couple of good TemTems on the team. Up next we have Tatsu. This is gonna be tough. I might have to switch out. Unfortunately, my only electric type TemTem is now down, so I do have to revive it in case of trying to use the electric type move. Thankfully, Nagas is actually holding its own, which is really good. It might go down here, but that's alright. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to switch out. There we go. Antan is up front. Should be able to take down 2i. Unfortunately, my game actually crashed, which is kind of annoying. I think it's happening a lot after I came to Aubrey. I'm really not sure if it's the updates for this game or if it's just my internet. I'm sitting pretty close to my Wi-Fi router, so it shouldn't really cause too much issue, but you never know. Either case, I'm just gonna go ahead and complete this battle as soon as possible. After this quest, we have a couple of them back in Sipanku, which I definitely want to address. There were some of them that I could have kind of advanced but chose not to. I think it's time for me to go ahead and go back to those quests. But there we go. We have defeated her, which is really good. She's pretty pissed off and does disappear. It seems that there is a mistake with this quest. I had to kind of climb up and go down. Now the dialogue you might have seen my NPC actually use over there was a previous dialogue, which I'm not sure why it repeated. But we do get a item once we do defeat her, which is pretty cool. Alright, that is a fancy cape. And it is the end of that quest as well. Let me quickly go ahead and travel back to Sipanku, or maybe another region where I do have a quest. I believe there was one quest in Kilim Peaks, which is actually quite far for me to travel. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to complete a specific quest. There was a quest for a teleportation item, which I think will be much more helpful. So that is probably something I'll work on pretty soon as well. Here we have a NPC who actually asked us for a Grunder. I was able to find a second one back in the trading center. I know I'm just using up all of my panans, but that's alright. I think we'll get more in the future as well. I would definitely recommend not using it up like how I am doing right here. It's definitely a bit tight in this game. Money is an issue, so don't go spending it like how I am, because I'm going to regret it pretty soon. I would recommend just keeping up your panans for something that is quite more important. Once we do get a kind of a relic from that person who we just gave a Garunder to, we are just deciding to see if it's actually real. I mean, obviously it probably is not. But we do have this expert right here who will be able to tell us if it's a fake. Unfortunately, it is a fake, but she's not able to say it for sure. She does give us a direction to a shrine back in the other town. I'm not sure about its name, but it's the same town where we received this sculpture. So we do have to go over there and defeat all of the teamers in that shrine to get an answer for it. This is definitely a quest for another time. Coming back to Sipanku, we do have a quest update right here. This is a quest for the missing refrigerator. I believe that was the quest. And apparently we were able to kind of get an update for him. He of course requests us to go ahead and talk to this particular person in the restaurant right here. This is the lady from the lab. Alright. Yep, he is freaking out. He has no idea where the fridge just appeared from. She's actually testing out a specific item. It's a teleportation device, and she wanted to make sure that it's actually working as expected. We do have to convince her to give us this device, so you do have to answer this specifically. Unfortunately, the very first try I did make a mistake. I believe not this one. This one was correct. Yes, this is where I made a mistake. The answer should be the last option, but I unfortunately clicked on the middle one. So do click on the last option. I'm going to go ahead and give it another round, as this item is quite helpful. I would definitely recommend completing this quest as soon as possible, as it will actually save you a lot of time. Anyway, going back to it, there we go. I am clicking on the correct answers, and this time I'm gonna go ahead with the last one. There we go, 4, and the mines of Meklan and Anak. There we go. We have answered her correctly, and she does give us the matter transfer drone. Unfortunately, you need panans for this. This is the reason why I told you to save it up. I did not, and I think I'm going to struggle a lot with panans in the future. But it is very helpful. It'll actually register each of the locations. You do have to register it manually for the first time. But once you register it, it will actually display in the map. And that way you'll be able to immediately teleport wherever you want without using the airport terminal. The next one is this update right here. This was a quest for a certain item, and we do get a TC in return. I think that's pretty interesting. One of the best things about leveling up or in this case using certain moves that will actually boost you up in a battle is that no matter how many times you switch out to TemTem, the boost will still remain. For example, if you do get a boost for your special attack in a battle, it will last for that whole battle even if you switch it out. So definitely all of these items are pretty helpful. The next quest I completed was the one with Hector here. He had requested us to get an interview from the captain, which we do. Of course, that quest is now completed as well. The only thing I left is the quest with the priest, which is what I'll do right now. We also have another quest here as well to kind of talk to a person to ask him to come back. This was for the, I believe, the nano labs, but we'll go ahead and cover that later. Once we do talk to the high priest, he is not quite happy with us. Even he has a quiz that we have to answer. I'm gonna go ahead and show the answer for that quiz here, but all of these are just storyline about how we are able to go ahead and go into another dimension from the keyholes that are in the sacred lake. I think that's a pretty interesting thing and definitely something I want to try out. We also need to find someone over there. I believe it was the philosopher. Yep. Unfortunately, we need the scroll over here to actually unlock it. He does tell us a particular statement right there, which I did write it down. That's a quest that we'll have to complete later. So yeah, we do have a couple of more things to do. Heading back inside the temple and going to the eastern room. Here is the inventor who actually gave up. Yep, it's Mitsuru. We do have to give him this specific answer. So do pause the video if you want to get the right answer. Once you do answer everything correctly, he actually gives you a development paper which is actually revised, and that is the paper you have to go back and give in the nano labs. There we go, we get the item, development notes. Now this quest is quite helpful as it does give you a kind of like a master ball in Pokemon. It's actually the Tem card X, which is actually going to work successfully on all the TemTems. If you might have seen my map, yep, right here, there are a lot of question marks. And each of those question marks will go to a different door, a different place. The map for it is pretty long. So I'm not going to go ahead and go with that quest right now. We're just going to keep it aside and come back to it once we have completed the main game. I'm also getting all of the teleportation locations. I've got quite a few. I think the teleportation location for this Neodo here is actually not available. It probably is right next to the airship. This was something that I was completely confused about. But before we do anything else, let me go into, yep, the labs right here. I don't think it's the Nanto lab 1. I probably think it's the 3rd floor. The design floor, I believe. Yep. Let me go over there. To be honest, I actually enjoy completing side quests than the main one, especially when some of these quests do give us really good items. Since we did actually talk to Miki here, he asks us to talk to Suzuki, who is in the Onshima. I believe that is the area where we actually discussed with Carlos and Dr. Sasaya before. Let me quickly head over there. It's quite close to this Neodo itself. Right here she is. She is Suzuki, and we do have to battle her as it might actually take some time for Miki back in the lab to complete his work. In the meantime, let's quickly defeat her. I believe we'll be able to take her down. Arknight is now at level 55, which is really good. It is leveling up pretty fast. Um, Unfortunately, I was not ready for the level in which these TemTems were in. I mean, they're at level 53 and 57. I was hoping for a much higher leveled one because that would have helped me level up my other team members as well. I think I'll go ahead and wait Oshukai. I think Naga's Fury should be able to take it down. Of course, it took down my whole game. Either way, once we are back, we have two other TemTems to take down. Unfortunately, it didn't really do too much on Mix, but Rockfall did, which is really good. At this point, we do have a shrine here in Sipanku as well, which I believe is for digital TemTems. So I do need to prepare for that as well. I also believe the shrine back in Aubrey is actually melee type. Which is gonna be a bit more trickier considering that I actually do not have a melee type that is that good other than Oshukai. Hopefully the ones that I've just got are good enough to go through it. The last TemTem to take down is Xenorith. Let me quickly take it down with one more turn. I do see that a lot of these battles are becoming significantly tougher. Which is making me think that I might need a strategy pretty soon. We definitely will have to battle General X once more. If you remember the last time we battled him back in Kisiva, we pretty much lost the battle immediately. He did have quite high level TemTems. Hopefully this time we are not gonna have that amount of trouble. Either way, that is all on this quest. I have to actually head back to Nanto Labs. So let me quickly do that. We do need to talk to Miki once more in the designer floor. I think we did a lot of back and forth. We have completed a couple of quests, including this one. We finally get the Tem card X, which is definitely helpful, especially if I'm going to catch a legendary TemTem, which I'm actually not sure is existing in this game. Probably it is, and I've never actually found it before. There is just one more thing to do, and that is an update on the sticker quest. If you remember, the sticker quest is actually two different quests. One of them is for me to actually get all of the stickers for that book. I have got around 73 of them right now, but we had to get around 60 for us to get this telescope thingy item. I'm not sure what it's called. I did not see its name. But yep, that is the last thing for me to do in this episode. I did check out the Chieftain's Borrow, which is where we have another quest to complete. This is the one for the tablet. If you remember, the professor back in Proper Town told us that we have to come here. Unfortunately, I do not have the melee TemTems required to defeat this shrine or this borrow. So we are just gonna go ahead and pause the quest right there. Either way, I think those are the things I wanted to just kind of complete in this episode. In the next episode, I will be exploring the Green Glen Forest and trying to find Aina, which is a quest I have yet to complete. I'm pretty excited for that. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel as it really helps me a lot. If you'd like to support me more, check out the links down in my description. But I'll see you all in the next one.